Welcome to Singapore. It is 84 out and cloudy, but with the humidity index, heat index, it actually feels like it's 93. You gotta love it. I'm guessing that there will be a monsoonal rain here sometime shortly. This is the monsoon season. I am in a heading to my Airbnb, Verbo, whatever you want to call it. Like a little mini apartment for 3 nights. Then I'm going into Malaysia for a 2-night. And then I'm going to come back, stay here, and then go take a ferry over and play golf in Indonesia for a day and come back and then fly home to Hong Kong, where Lily is going to China with her mother and her brother and her sister, so her mom can see her relatives up there. She was born in the Shanghai area. I'm not sure exactly what the name, Hongzhou, in that area. Anyway, she's at the point now where it's harder for her to get around, so they don't know how many more times they can take her up there to see her relatives. So they're going to do it. When they have a gang of people to go take care of it, they've got a nice little fold-up wheelchair to take her around, which I'm very happy that Mom gets to go visit her relatives. So Lily was going to go up there for a week, so I figured I'd just come to Singapore and meet some clients, meet some friends, play some golf, and enjoy myself, and maybe sweat off a few pounds, because I think that's a distinct possibility. So I'll be doing some videos here that you'll get to see. I got the drone with me. Hopefully I'll be able to get it up in the air. They wouldn't let me do it in Taipei, which was a little annoying. I tried to, and it basically hit me about 50 feet and said, "Restricted airspace. You cannot put your drone up here, you stupid fat American guy." So I'm like, okay, all right, I'll deal with this. So anyway, that is that. So anyway, really looking forward to coming back here. I was here last year when I came back. I never ever really get sick of coming to Singapore. The food is really great here. The weather's, hot. You always know what you're getting here. It's always going to be warm. It's not like going into a snowstorm or nothing. The coldest recorded temperature, I think, in Singapore of all time is like 74 degrees Fahrenheit. 74. Can you imagine that? The coldest you ever get is 74 degrees. What the heck? My gosh. I wonder what the people did around here before there was air conditioning. That's all I gotta know. Because I'm here to tell you, you walk out here, and it's just like basically walking into a sauna. It's just loaded. And they got a similar situation to Hong Kong, although their high-rises aren't nearly as big or as tall. But, they have their multiple-story room, private and public, both. This is the East Coast area of town. Out here they have the airport. They have a military base out here, which actually I think the U.S. uses quite a bit. And basically a lot of industrial places, offices, and things along those lines. As you get into the center part of the island, it's more the touristy area, the hotels, the shopping malls, the restaurants, all that good stuff. And then as you get into the more what we'd call the western area, like out towards Jurong and stuff, it tends to be more industrial, where they have a lot of warehouses, logistics centers, and that kind of stuff. They're actually been in the process of moving there. Sorry about that too. On the phone. They've been actually in the process of moving their dock port area, which was around downtown, moving it out west so that it is no longer in downtown. So I'll be anxious to see how far they've gotten along with that. But anyway, here's some residential flats. They plant a lot of trees here. It's a lot, it's really nice. I mean, they do a really good job here. I beat them up a lot because it is a nanny state. I mean, you go into a McDonald's, for example, when you order a Coke, if you don't specify that you want a regular Coke, you get a Coke Light. And it's just what they do here. They just basically try to govern and dictate, control your intakes and all that kind of stuff. And it's a one-party state. It is. And it's been, there's kind of a joke. I don't know if you can call it a joke, but Singapore's president is the guy that founded the country. He's been dead for like 20 years. That his party is still in charge here. I think his son is still like the main dude here. So you get a lot of that in Asia. The whole concept of what we think of in America, democracy and elections and choice and all that kind of stuff. It's not really a big deal for these people over here. As long as they got a roof over their heads, food on the table, and a job so they can support it, they're fine. They don't ask for much, because you look back in history over here, they've had famine, wars, just all kinds of really bad crap. So the bar isn't as high as it is, say, in America with respect to people's tolerance and acceptable rate in the standard of living area. They do have nice freeways here. They do have nice freeways. You can see it right there, freeway. Very nice. And over here, they do the British thing. They drive on the left side of the road. And coming up close to town now. They have that Grand Prix, which I've been to up here, the Formula One F1 race here. They got a big stadium over here to the right-hand side. And I don't know, man. I couldn't even imagine playing in an athletic event where you got I think it's got one of them retractable domes on it. But man, it'd be a bear to basically play outside in this thing. And you gotta understand one thing. This place sets on the equator. It's 1 degree north of the equator. 1 degree of, what is it, latitude, right? Anyway, the temperature stays this way every day of the year. Every flipping day of the year. It's in the 80s and 90s. Every day of the year. There's no fall. There's no winter. There's no spring. There's only summer. Endless summer, as the Beach Boys would say. And it's hot. It is smoking hot. There's some more like office buildings around here. Things along those lines. You see it there. All right. Pila Bar. That's where the air base is. And then Changi is the naval base. They got a vibrant nightlife here. They got a river runs through town, and they got a little boat you can take on it. They got one of those big Ferris wheel things you can go up in, and they've got a night show that happens like every night where they do the fountains downtown at around 8 o'clock. The skyline here is pretty impressive. You can look it up online. It's a very, very expensive place to live. A lot of people come here kind of to do tax shelter and things along those lines. I know that, like the guy that assisted Zuckerberg in establishing Facebook, kind of the first CFO guy, he lives here. He relinquished his American citizenship and he lives here. And so you get that. Anyway, we're heading into the town now. But it's taking a north route. It's taking me over to the Orchard, which is the major shopping area. That's where I got a Airbnb at. It's kind of like central to the island, so I can get around. Anyway, Yeah, this is Singapore. Very modern place. Qualcomm factory there. Offices. Infineon, I think they do automotive stuff. So a lot of the major multinational corporations have got significant operations. There's some I haven't seen before. An orange Tesla. It's a Bronco orange Tesla. Siemens. I've actually been in that building, had a few meetings in the past. Let's see what we got here. These are people's homes here. And similar to Hong Kong, a lot of people, they have both residential homes and they also have high-rises. In Hong Kong, there's not a lot of residential homes, what I call single-family homes, but they have a lot of them here that you can get. They're not cheap. I think the cheapest you'll find, there's probably 2 or 3 million in Singapore, which is roughly about okay, for every US dollar there's 1.3 Singapore dollars. That's how the currency exchange is. It fluctuates between 1.3 1.4 usually. It's kind of on a par with like the Canadian dollar and the Australian dollar kind of thing. They used to be basically really similar. There's some high-rise apartment buildings there. As you can see, we're on the freeway here. We're going to Kowloon, Balestier Road. We're not far from where I'm going to get off up here. So with that, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll upload this and give you some more content here in Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia. Doodle-doo.